How is it that a narcissist can treat a person so badly and be able to accomplish this quite easily and appear to not even be affected by it at all? In this video, I'll tell you exactly how a narcissist can do this and do it quite flawlessly. Number one, your humanity is completely stripped away. It's extremely easy for a narcissist to treat you and others, of course, so badly because to a narc, you're just simply not a person. The narcissist doesn't see you, me, or anybody else as people. We're ATM machines. We're hotel rooms, car payments, and vacations. When you strip away a person's very heart, soul, and humanity, who they are as a person, well, then you know what you become? You're an object. Well, what do we know about objects? They have no feelings. You don't worry about your car. Is it sad? Did it have a bad day? How does your shower curtain feel? You don't know. You don't care because it's not people, it's things. Making you nothing more than a list of goods and services, and you're kind of like an appliance, it actually helps and makes it easier for them to abuse you because it's not a person, it's just a thing. They strip away everything about you, and they'll do this by just simply not caring. They gaslight you into thinking everything is fine, and they love bomb you into submission, among the plethora of other manipulation tactics they use to make this so much easier to do. Number two, they're pretty much over you anyway. A narcissist might be cold, cruel, calculating, and sneaky, but you know what? They're still simple in some aspects. It doesn't take long for people like this to get bored. They need their life to constantly be a three-ring circus. And Survivor, you've probably even witnessed this. There's no moment of calm or serenity or peace. It's one dramatic incident after another. It's this crisis and that crisis, and there's always something. When they're tired of your circus act, which takes 3 to 6 months, by the way, they need a new attraction. Literally, they need new drama, new love bombing, new something. And they begin looking around. That's when your devaluing really ramps up and begins. So let's say you're with this person for 2 years. Okay, well, for 15 to 18 months of that 2 years, not being impressed by you at all, I mean, you're bound to get treated very, very badly. They're not into you. They fall out of love that they weren't even in anyway because it's lust. They don't know you. They're seeking perfection. They stay, sure, but it's kind of because you're guaranteed supply. But you're not fun, new, sexy, risque, or exciting anymore. And therefore, with little to no interest, it's easier to treat you like shit. Think about a person who you're into or who you like and respect a whole lot. You'd never be bad to them, or you'd try very hard to help it. Now think about a person in your life who's irritating, who's annoying, who just pesters you. They never leave you alone. Honestly, you're more likely to be mean or to snap at the person that you're not into or who rubs you the wrong way a little bit more than the other person. To be fair, it's kind of human nature. So yeah, to a narcissist, when you're old news, you get treated like way worse. Sidebar. You'll also be treated worse, and they will do this much more openly when you've proven that you'll stay no matter what treatment you're getting. Poor treatment gets more and more obvious, again, when they know that you won't leave, so there's that too. I wanted to throw that in there. If you'd like to talk with me one-on-one and get some help and support for what you're going through right now, you can send an email to bookachatwithjess@gmail.com, or you can get the information and book right there on my website, jess-stanley.square.site. Links and information to work with me and get started are all down in the video description for you. Number 3, it's easy to do this because, frankly, you're the bad guy. It's not hard to hurt the bad guy and treat them like shit. Well, that would be you. Remember why you're devalued by a narcissist in the first place. Part of the reason is because they thought you were perfect. And in time, they learned that guess what? You're flawed and you're human, just like the rest of us. But this makes narcissistic people very angry. And maybe you've even heard something like this. Wow, you're really not who I thought you were. You're not who I thought I was with. You didn't used to act like this. You used to let me do this and now you don't. You've changed and I don't think I like this new person, and so on. So if you're saying no, if you're standing up for yourself, if you're not being perfect, which you can't help, as well as other things, it makes you the bad guy. Of course, you don't care about them. You don't care if they're happy, blah, blah, blah. Victim this and victim that, and poof, you're the bad guy. So it becomes quite easy for them to treat you badly. They're running their little smear campaign, telling their flying monkeys, telling friends, family, and coworkers alike what a miserable little soul you are. And they begin to see you a very different way than in the beginning of the relationship. You can actually watch yourself go from golden to garbage, from hero to villain. And when that flip happens, you get treated badly, and the longer it happens, they are much more open about it. Number 4, it gets them what they want. Of course, narcs, let's face it, nobody does what they do in vain. Narcs love bomb and gaslight and manipulate because, frankly, it works. So when they treat you badly, they remind you that you're not good enough for whatever reason, whatever capacity. They let you know everything is your fault. Well, what do you do? What do you do in those moments when you're blamed for everything and it's pinned on you and they're telling you how much you suck? Well, a lot of survivors see this as a very unhappy friend or partner, whatever your situation might be, even child or parent. It's not always romantic entanglements, but you see this really unhappy person before you and they're telling you what's wrong. So what do? Well, you fix it, or you try to. Narcissists notoriously try to pick very empathic people, very kind, caring, forgiving, caretaking, fixing people. And if they choose right, which most of the time they do, you'll spring into action and you'll try to right the wrongs and make them happy as best you can. And this can be hard for a lot of people to hear. Hell, even myself, as I am a survivor of narcissistic abuse. But they do what they do because most of the time it gets results. Also, the worse you get treated, it's actually more likely you'll stay in that situation. When we feel bad about ourselves, we're very unlikely to stand up, get self-esteem, and move on to a new relationship or move on into being alone. Typically, we stay right where we are when we don't feel very good. Number 5, because they can. Number 4 was basically because they can, but I want to add this point in here too, and I kind of wanted to give it its own little thing here. Narcissists don't play by the rules. No rules, but their rules, which usually is there are no rules for them and they win and you lose. It's a whole thing, trust me. They feel entitled, essentially, to treat you badly. They feel entitled to punish you when they feel slighted. They have big old fragile egos, and you will feel the wrath of that from time to time. And why? Well, because they can. Some of them even hurt you and hurt you so easily because you need to be punished. They feel like you deserve punishment for something that you've done, so you can add punishment to the list of why it's so easy to treat you so badly as well. So which of these ways that I talked about here today have happened to you? If you feel comfortable sharing, feel free to do that down in the comments. Thanks so much for taking a listen today. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.